What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Starfighter Podcast. It is the Everything Nerdy Show here on Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a good day. And thanks so much for joining us. How are you guys doing? Ethan, Jake?
Ethan, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I guess I'll go first.
That good, huh?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. Hi. But yeah, just kind of interested today. So I kind of want to get away with some nerd stuff. So see what happens. But just chilling.
Very cool. Very cool. Jake, how are you doing, man?
I think you already know my response because it's my response every single time you ask me. I'm doing great. It's another day in paradise. I'm just living the dream.
Nice, man. That's what we like to hear. Tuesday, what's going on?
Hey, twos.
Breamster says first here. Tuesday says incorrect.
Oh, a little back and forth.
Now we have some nemesis action.
Oh no, that's Ben, my little brother.
Oh, Breamster is?
Yeah, he changed his name. Yeah.
Oh, what happened to? He never said that. What happened to? What was he before? He was Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah. Ben Kenobi, I think it was, because his name's Ben.
Yeah.
So sorry. Don't go look him up, guys. Watch him.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, are you guys hearing the music? We got that rolling. We're good on that. Cool. You guys want to get into our main topic today? I think that's what people want to hear about.
Yeah. Run it.
We're talking Marvel, guys. Is Marvel in trouble? Why are we talking about this? There's been quite a bit of things going on. We never really talked about the whole ScarJo lawsuit, and we probably won't get into it a whole lot today, but that definitely plays a part in this subject today. And then me and Ethan have kind of talked a little bit about this over the last couple of weeks, but just kind of where we're sitting at with the Disney Plus Marvel series right now, kind of how that sits for us right now. And then like with Black Widow, again, that goes back to the lawsuit, but with Black Widow not doing very well in box office, again, it's just a weird time for movies in general. That plays a huge part. I think it's kind of safe to say that some people fell off with Loki, and now I don't feel like there's like that large group of people that are really excited, like maybe some of us are, for this What If series that we have. So yeah, these kind of all play a part in what we're talking about here with Marvel. But Jake, I'm curious to hear any of your thoughts.
I hear like a lot of different excuses about like what's going on with Marvel and how they're kind of expecting Shang-Chi to flop a little bit by what the president of Disney said. Chapek, was it Bob Chapek or
yeah?
So quite frankly, I think it's just fatigue and delay after delay, and people are getting sick of waiting, and then it's like you lose interest in it. And there's been such a long break for Marvel at this point, the longest they've ever had. And I just think it's gonna take a couple of movies for people to get back into it. So I think like once there's like more cohesiveness in this universe, I think people will try to follow up more. But I just think it's fatigue right now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think for me personally, I'm not one to really get much fatigue when it comes to superhero movies or like fantasy sci-fi, but not everyone is like that,
Mm-hmm.
And so it is kind of fair. Also, I think some people would argue that it's better to have this kind of structure where there are breaks and like good size breaks in between like their shows and their movies. But Ethan, what do you think?
I don't know. I think the issue is comparing something like a Black Widow release to what Shang-Chi is going to be, I think is kind of unreasonable. because Black Widow was held off for way too long and had a lot of time to lose interest. In which I do think like Shang-Chi's building a lot of interest right now. Like I think the trailers look great. I think they've been doing a pretty good job promoting it. So we'll just have to see, but it's not even half of it isn't even up to them these days. It's just what happens with the world. So we'll kind of have to see what happens with that. But I do think, in all honesty, I think them having a theater-only release will help quite a bit. Like I think it'll look a lot better in general, and I think it'll put things into a better perspective as to how it's going to go probably for the next year. Or at least up to Spider-Man, because I think once you get to the Spider-Man stuff and Doctor Strange, it's going to start ramping up again, because that's people know that and they're comfortable with it, so they'll go out of their way for it. But I think right now, Black Widow took way too long to come out. Shang-Chi's new. Eternals are new. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy until Spider-Man, like, or anything where Marvel will feel like comfortable again.
Yeah, like with their numbers is what you mean, right?
Yeah, like box office, anything.
Yeah, and I think
Even just like merchandise and random stuff like that. Like that stuff kind of just rides on the backs of the movies and how good they do. So
yeah, I think you're probably right, and it's really a shame too. I mean, it's just the fault of the circumstances that we're in, right? But like, I mean, Shang-Chi looks incredible. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Shang-Chi, but whatever. It looks incredible. Shang-Chi does, and I've seen some of the critics, their early, like really quick reviews, and just like it's literally nothing but great things that I've heard. And I'm super pumped for it. But again, it's just a shame because it very well might deserve to be seen and by like the large audience and like deserve all the praise and stuff, but will it get it? It's really hard to say, but it's kind of looking bad right now because I mean, if you're going to focus in on the numbers with like basically all movies right now during the last year or two, it's like everything kind of looks down.
Bleak.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. And even like what Ethan was saying too, yeah, it looks down, but just to go off what he was saying, I mean, people don't really know Shang-Chi. We have to remember too that we just came off of Endgame, which is like the highest high that Marvel could have like given us, Infinity War and Endgame. And so honestly, I just think that people, new characters, it's just going to take some time for like this new set of people to develop, because I think what he was saying too, Spider-Man is going to be huge. I guarantee it. Like people are going to go see that movie. And Doctor Strange as well. But yeah, I just think it's going to take some time to start loving these new characters and see like what direction they take it. But yeah, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the cast looks really great again for Shang-Chi, and like you could probably I've heard a lot of people say that it could be very much like a situation like Black Panther, where it was just like a really big deal because of like the target audience, and but just like in general too, like everybody was pretty pumped for Black Panther, and like I feel like Shang-Chi will most likely be deserving of it, but will it get the numbers that they want? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
And that really sucks.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a good movie, but no one's gonna see it, just like kind of what you're saying. And I get what you're saying with like Black Panther too, and you could even throw Guardians of the Galaxy into that mix. Like they were small, like no one cared about them until they hit the big screen, but they were also like in the middle of everything, so like people were gonna go see it, like people knew that it was gonna all be connected, and so like with these new characters, I don't know, I just, it's new people. We just got rid of like the big six or whatever, so.
Yeah. Let's take a couple comments. Tuesday says Black Widow would have been a great movie in 2016 to 17, but she died 2 years ago. Everyone moved on. So in my opinion, it was horribly ill-timed and thus less meaningful. Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, that's how I felt the whole time. The whole time watching that movie, I was like, well, she dies in Endgame, so I knew she was going to live through this movie. It was just like there was no stakes in it for
Yeah,
me.
no, they should have given her a film like after Iron Man 2. That would have been good.
Yeah, that would have been perfect timing.
Let's see. Tuesday says it's a clean slate. The same thing happened in 2008 to 12 when everyone was first being introduced, in my opinion. I'm quite excited to see a new end goal before it was always Thanos.
First of all, I have to talk about the what if later if we can.
Yeah,
I don't know
did
if
you
guys
watch
saw
it too, Ethan?
Dude, this.
The second one,
Yeah.
I have not yet.
Oof.
Okay, never mind then, I guess. But you'll love it, dude.
No.
Well,
Alright, what's the
maybe
episode
me
on?
and
Yeah, no,
it's on Black Panther.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Or I'm sorry,
Star-Lord.
it's on T'Challa
Star-Lord.
becoming Star-Lord. Yeah.
But there's surprise characters in there that are like really cool in the story and seeing them in a new light, and then also there's just like hilarious comedy, I think, with what you were saying about just Thanos and stuff. So you'll just have to watch it, dude.
maybe me and Jake can talk about it real briefly.
So, okay, I'm trying to look at, because I'm trying to put into perspective right now as to like what Black Widow was doing, like box office or whatever. And I don't know, they're grossing 178 million, which is like, it's decently low, right? Like for Marvel, right? Or something around there. But
Yeah,
this is the number I want to know because I think Shang-Chi, okay, I think it will be better, but the movie I wanted to see and how it was doing in the box office was Suicide Squad, because I think numbers wise it's going to be similar to that. Like it's brand new. I think the fact that it's PG-13, you might get more honestly out of it. So I think it'll be a bit higher. Plus Marvel just gets more in general, but I think it will end up being, and it's at like 42 and a half, like 4.42 and a half mil right now for its grossing. And what it came out, when did it come out? August 6th. So I think it's going to be somewhere like around that like level, just because it's brand new. It's the only thing you have right now that's anywhere in comparison to, anything right now. It's brand new. Granted, Marvel does usually do better than DC, but I think that's kind of where it's going to end up being, like somewhere around there.
Well, I want to know from you guys, and I also want to hear from the audience too. Let us know in the chat if you're able. But like going back to the thought of fatigue, are people feeling that fatigue after WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki? And if so, do you think that same fatigue is going to affect them being like, oh, I don't know what that's about. Also, I don't really want to go to the theater still. And then we don't know exactly. I don't think we know exactly yet when it's going to hit like Disney Plus. What do you guys think about that?
Jake?
about just all the fatigue and going back to Disney Plus.
Yeah, do you think that's very possible that they're fatigued from the shows right now, and then that's going to affect the movies as well?
I don't know. I mean, the shows are definitely like take a lot out of you because it's like a month and a half, 2 months of your life every week, and I honestly felt fatigue after pretty much every show, which is weird, but it just took so much longer, I think, and it just kind of sucked up so much more time to where it was just, I don't know. I got more fatigue after the shows than I did with the movies, for sure. But again, it just could be that we're like 23 movies into it, like it's a lot of movies. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying for sure. Tuesday said it hits Disney Plus 45 days after theater release. Okay, I had heard that they were kind of like going back and forth with some numbers there, but to this point, are people going to play if they don't go to the theater? Are those same people going to go and spend the $30?
Terrible bargain. I just
Well,
think
it's always going to be a loss for them, right? Because it's like if there's three, 5 people in my household, that $30 covers everybody. It's not like per head like it normally would be in the theater.
I don't know. It's just so weird. Like, I just don't like the Disney Plus.
It's very weird.
Okay, I don't like the idea of Disney Plus. I'm gonna go talk about ScarJo or whatever. But this is the issue: is they had nothing. Like, they didn't have anything properly set up going into this. Like, they're still transitioning. It feels into like a Disney Plus thing, but at the same time, they're transitioning into it, but they're also transitioning out of it, like at the exact same time. So it's like a terrible combo. And because everything's temporary right now, like it doesn't feel like anything right now is going to be lasting. For all we know, by the time we hit Eternals, it's not going to be a theater only release. Like, you just don't know how it's going to be. They could change things month to month. So I don't know. I really hope the movie does good and all that, but when it comes to fatigue too, and this is the thing I give Marvel, they're dropping 4 movies a year right now. Like, fatigue, it's gonna be there, but they have so many opportunities right now to get back up there. Like, more than any other industry right now, let's be honest. They have a lot of movies just cranking out right now. So, and also it's not like Disney has Marvel as their like crutch. Like, it's not their crutch. Like, it's a big source of income, but they have other stuff going for them too. So I don't think Marvel is gonna slow down like with any of this stuff. Like, the fact that they knew Rona was going on and they still dropped like 5 shows that were gonna come out. They didn't have to do that. They were still in production for those. Like, they hadn't even started filming for a few of them.
Yeah.
So I just don't think they're gonna stop anytime soon because they have a formula and they're gonna run with it. Because they're at a spot where they feel comfortable releasing 4 movies a year. It's not like they're trying to catch up with anything. It's just they're going to be doing that because they're probably going to have like double as many characters this time around that they got to keep up with. So they're going to need it.
Now, granted, when they made those announcements, I think everyone was super hyped about it, and they probably got a lot of people to go and subscribe to Disney Plus, right, and get pumped about like their new Marvel shows and everything. But now that we've gotten a bunch of them, again, I think for some people that's kind of where the fatigue sets in. But I mean, let's talk a little bit in terms of like quality. Ethan and I talked about this like maybe a week ago. But Jake, like, where are you like in terms of the shows again? Like, how do you feel like they're doing with the shows right now in terms of quality? And then like in comparison, does that make you a little bit worried about some of the movies or make you more excited for some of the movies?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Quality is tough for me to say, and the fatigue thing too. But like, quality was great. I actually I just watched all those shows so many times that like every episode like 4 or 5 times that it was, I'm worried about actually like we'll see about Shang-Chi because I know that everyone's saying that it's visually stunning, and for whatever reason, I felt like these shows are just kind of lacking visually to begin with. I don't know why. Quality of the storytelling was hit or miss for me, but again, it's the TV shows. I mean, we'll just have to see. Honestly, I want to see like a big budget movie of theirs. I don't really think Black Widow was just because they held on to it for so long, and it was more like a spy movie. So I don't know, but I'm excited to see what happens with Shang-Chi. I'm definitely going to see it, and then I'll be able to base like how I feel about the quality of the movies, because the shows were hit or miss for me. So I just need to get back in the theaters and see a movie and see what they're putting down.
What was hit and miss?
About the shows?
Yeah.
Some of the storytelling was hit or miss for me. I didn't like how some of the shows ended. I was expecting, honestly, and I'm just one of those Marvel fans where I've just been disappointed with a lot of things that Marvel's been doing right now because I have such high expectations for what they could do or what they should do.
Well, why don't you talk a little bit more about that?
Oh gosh, now you're asking me to go in depth here, man.
Yeah, man, I'm here for it.
I don't know, just different theories, like how you think that the show's gonna play out. I know, like I felt that some of the shows kind of ended abruptly. I mean, Loki, that was too big of a cliffhanger for me. And I'm worried. I'm worried about what Disney's going to be doing by implementing these TV series or these streaming series into the movies. I don't know. I'm excited to see where the multiverse comes from. Obviously, they can do a lot with that, but yeah, I'm curious. I don't know how they're going to work it over the next couple of years with all these new shows that are coming out, like Moon Knight, She-Hulk. Like, are they going to get their own movies, and how important are the shows to like the actual characters? Because then that's also something that might turn people off too. They're like, I don't want to pay for Disney Plus. Like, then at that point they just kind of like don't care anymore. So it's a tough thing to juggle for Disney, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see where they take it, but I just got to get back in theaters. I've been spending my $30 on Disney Plus, so I've had no reason to go back to theaters. Cost wise, I'd probably pay the same, get myself a drink and a popcorn, right? And that's gonna be like $40 for just me, So at that point, I'm just like, might as well just spend $30 and sit at home. It's not worth it. So,
what theater are you going to?
We got a really fancy theater over here. It's the only theater I go to. Yeah,
is it
it's
IMAX though?
No.
That's the one thing I want. I haven't seen a movie in IMAX in ages. That's the one thing I want to get off my list.
I mean, we got a new nice TV when the pandemic hit, and then like new surround sound and everything. So I haven't really had much complaints there. I do love seeing movies in the theater though, but
did you see Black Widow at home or? Oh,
yeah.
You saw it. Okay.
I saw it at home.
Okay. All right.
I almost watched it when I was camping, because I
was gonna say,
guys, I've always been, especially for Star Wars, like I will be seeing it opening night. Like doesn't matter, like things could be falling apart with work or whatever, circumstances trying to stop me from seeing it. I will be seeing Star Wars and usually Marvel movies opening night. So I was pretty anxious, but I'm actually glad I waited because I preferred watching Black Widow on a TV and not on an iPad camping. So
good 100%. Job. I enjoy watching at a theater, but
I mean that'd be my first pick.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It doesn't feel. I can't enjoy when you're at a theater, and maybe people understand this, like if they work from home or something, but it's just like distractions and random stuff. At least the distractions at a theater are usually funny. Like it's like some dumb person doing something like, and you're just laughing at them or something like. But when you're at home, it's just random stuff like your dog or or like a car right outside or it's random stuff like that. So.
I mean, you're also paying for the experience too. It's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Especially with like the big blockbuster movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I paid for the experience when I went to see Endgame. They played the movie. It was black screen. All we could hear was the audio for the first 15 minutes of the movie. Everyone was having a meltdown, dude. Yeah. People were screaming. They're like, turn off the movie. Like, dude, people were so upset because it was like opening day, right? So like people didn't want to ruin the movie, but like we had to hear everything. Yeah, it's funny. Last time I'll ever go to an opening night of any Marvel movie. Not doing it again.
That's crazy, dude.
I remember seeing Endgame at like 3 o'clock in the morning
Oh my gosh.
on like a Friday or something, and yeah, it was interesting. It was fun though.
You saw it at 3 a.m. on a Friday?
Yeah,
I'm sure there were a bunch of characters at the theater that night.
it was just people chilling, and everyone had their recliners. Yeah, it was interesting. I waited the whole week just to make sure I wouldn't even fall asleep during it, and I didn't get tired once. I messed my whole sleep schedule up just for it.
Oh,
I mean,
my
did you
God.
guys both get that great experience of like the audience just going crazy for like, the epic battle scene at the end?
Yeah,
On your left, that scene.
yeah.
Yeah,
My theater was
that was
actually
great.
like silent, man.
Oh, really? Probably because they were upset about the beginning still.
Yeah, dude, they were mad about the beginning. No,
Well,
I think
I'm gonna
everyone
have
was
to see
just
this
like,
again.
pretty much, yeah. It was a bad situation. No, I think everyone was just honestly like shocked. Everyone was like
Yeah.
gasping more than anything.
I think
So-
everyone was just like in their chills or whatever. Like, I think that's kind of what my whole feeling like leading up to that movie. And it's like I'll still go watch and I just get chills. And it's not like I'm getting like hyped or anything. It's just nostalgia.
I was gonna say nostalgia. It'll get you every
Mhm.
time. 10 out of 10.
Well, hey guys, should we move on to a new subject? If there's nothing left to say here with Marvel. Honestly, I was kind of expecting a little more from you, Jake.
Debate
I
time.
thought you really had a lot to say about Marvel.
I'm trying to be professional.
Hey, you can say what you have to say
I was actually right when
professionally.
right when you're like, as if nothing else to say, we'll get on. I was about to be like, dude, Marvel's trash. And just continue. No, I'm excited, man. We'll see what happens. I'm not. We'll see what happens.
Well, real quick, I guess you had mentioned something about like the ending of Loki, but I thought like on our review, you seem to like it more. But now that time has passed, kind of have a different perspective, or
Yeah, I mean, I get what they did with it. It was the whole Loki thing. Honestly, was too confusing. It seemed like the Loki writers and the Marvel writers of like Endgame and Infinity War just like weren't even on the same page. It was like a lot of new information that didn't make sense, and I am not even trying to understand it. But they took it in direction, and I'm just gonna have to buckle up, sit in, and push through because I got to see what happens with this guy Kang. But yeah, it was just abrupt. I didn't like how some of the shows ended. I wanted some more in there. A lot of like no risk really in these shows. So it's just, I mean, someone had to die. Sylvie dying would have been ridiculous. That would have been crazy.
yeah, honestly, I felt like none of the endings like for me, like none of them like really stood out a whole lot. They didn't like completely fall flat, but well, yeah, they kind of did. Actually,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you talking about?
somewhat, definitely
I
WandaVision.
remember those takes.
Just,
I remember WandaVision.
Just in general, at first when we were going through Loki, I was starting to feel like this will probably end up being my favorite and the best in my opinion. Now that I've had time and I didn't care too much for the finale either. But now that we've had time to sit with it, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was the best in my opinion.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mentioned it before, but it's like, again, it's just like the rewatchability factor. I don't feel like any of them are like have a whole lot of rewatchability personally. That's probably a hot take. Just the only episode that really stands out to me is I think it's like episode 4 of Falcon and Winter Soldier when Zemo takes Bucky to the bar and he has to pretend to be Winter Soldier again. I love that episode. Yeah.
I'm with Jake on my favorite episode. Which
What-
episode was that? Was it the one before or was it after?
Which one?
It was the
Where
third.
he just caved
to
that
last.
dude's chest in.
Yeah, that was the third to last episode. I don't even know anymore, dude. But Honestly, like there was the violence and that was cool. Like there was like it was a little bit more gritty at some
Well,
points.
it felt like the Winter Soldier movie, which I think is still like it. It's such a one-off, but it's one of the best Marvel movies. Like it's probably my second favorite. There's been days where it is my favorite, like Marvel movie, hands down. And then people wonder why I like Captain America so much. Like that movie is probably my favorite. Civil War is really good too. But if we're talking any of like,
That's my favorite.
if we're talking about any of the like Marvel movies in general, Captain America probably has the best like trio out of them, in my opinion. Like a consistent like, it's just super consistent. I think all three of his movies were good.
Civil War feels more like an Avengers movie, though, to me.
Yeah.
You guys feel
it
me
does.
on that a little bit?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
But I think it's because some of the side characters, you know, they definitely get like the spotlight a little bit. But I feel like it's definitely, well, and that's just Civil War too. But you know, it's a lot of it is about Tony, so it doesn't feel like it's like just Captain America under the spotlight. But it feels like a constant back and forth. But again, that is taken from the Civil War story. So
that kind of reminds me. I'll bring up a point right now. I think this could be interesting to talk about.
do it.
So the more I've gone back and watched movies, like I watched Endgame not long ago, or like Infinity War or something like that. Anytime the Avengers and any other group or any other like one-off character or something like that is together, the screen time is insanely different, and so is the character. So my theory is, number one, it's weird because I'm not gonna care about movies like Eternals as much though, because it's like I love Guardians, but what did they really do with them like in Infinity War Endgame? Like they didn't do anything crazy with them. Like they didn't really have like a huge role. Like they had a good amount, but I don't know. It just kind of feels like that sometimes, and or like someone like like Groot or Rocket or just like one-off characters. But that's what I'm thinking is in the shows we're getting all these random characters, but I feel like they're gonna be those like one-offs that like kind of like wander around and do their stuff, and so you have context on them, but you don't need it. Like they're just there.
Like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's exactly like that, like Captain Marvel. Like I didn't have to see Captain Marvel. I went with a bunch of people that didn't see Captain Marvel before we saw Endgame, and it like made sense. It's just like, okay, here's a super powerful person. Let's run it.
You know what's crazy is how Captain Marvel, and sorry if this gets too off topic with what you were talking about. Hopefully it doesn't, but with Captain Marvel, like
it does.
That's definitely I think probably one of the worst, like kind of down towards the bottom of like low tier Marvel movies. But it still made a lot of money.
But it was fake money, bro. It was fake money. We don't need to get into it.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
It was empty theaters, free tickets.
It's Hollywood cash.
Dude, it was bad. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, it's the same thing, man. I don't know, like Moon Knight, like I'm trying to think, is he gonna do?
I mean, I'm excited for that.
I would love for Moon Knight to be like a cool, like hardcore character. Because what's his deal? He's kind of like split or something like that.
He has
right?
multiple personalities, yeah. And
he died, and then he got taken over by Moon Knight, the god of the moon, the Egyptian god. He crawled in. He was got all these powers from him. But yeah, he's split personality. He's a taxi cab driver by day, and then he likes to kill people at night. But
I hear he's like the Batman of the Marvel universe,
but darker.
But have you guys heard about the whatever like Avengers team that he's on? Pretty much, I forget. It's like I feel like they're gonna split up all these characters into like 3 or 4 like Avengers.
Is he part of the Defenders?
Is it the Defenders? Maybe.
I thought that he might be part of the Defenders, but he's not in that show. But
yeah, so I don't know. I mean, they're all gonna be like, because he's obviously like the Mephisto realm, like he's supernatural, right? So I'm just curious to see like how they take it. I think that there's gonna probably be like a group of characters in the next couple of movies that are just flops. Honestly, that like, you know, and then there's gonna be like a group of characters that everyone loves, and then they're just gonna like probably run with that. I don't know. But yeah, Moon Knight, I'm excited for. Sorry, I got all excited about Moon Knight.
Yeah, so he was on Defenders and West Coast Avengers and Secret Avengers and all that.
Mm.
He got around, but yeah, So yeah, hopefully we see him and Ralph, you know, going around doing their stuff, hunting Mephisto down. I think that'd be cool. But no, I'm actually super excited for Midnight because I think that's one thing that we haven't really seen yet. But like, I just don't really. There's some aspects where I'm like, there's certain things that I loved about Marvel where I'm like, I don't really know where I'm gonna get that same vibe from now. Like Captain America's gone, Tony's gone.
Dude.
I semi think Thor's gonna be gone. So it's like, it's just saying, it's like, I don't know where this stuff's gonna come around. I feel like Hulk is gone because he's not the Hulk, and like he doesn't feel like the Hulk anymore. Like, don't even get me started with Hulk right now. I was looking
Let's
at
get it
Instagram
started,
posts the other
man.
day, and
What
I got
happened?
so mad. Like, even if they were to get, okay, let's say they get the rights to Hulk, which I think they might have. Like, there's some speculation that they've like secretly gotten them or whatever, and they're working on something. And I'm like, there's so many cool Hulk ideas. We can talk World War Hulk. We can talk all this stuff, like the Illuminati, like Avengers and all that, like storylines. You can talk all that. But I do not want that with Professor Hulk, like with a jacked up arm, just going around in a sling. Like, it's not going to be interesting. So it's like, I want to see. They're gonna have to recover a lot. I feel like, because I know Professor Hulk was cool, but Hulk is supposed to be useful for stuff other than his brains. Like, Bruce Banner was cool when he had his like brains and all that. But I'm sorry, Thor Ragnarok, like Hulk was like the perfect Hulk, like literally perfect for what they need to do, and they threw it away. Like, it's so sad because Taika showed them, they're like, this is what you could do with the Hulk, and he like did such a cool version of him, like perfect comedy, perfect strength, like matchups, everything.
I just liked Edward Norton better.
Threw him under the bus.
No.
Edward Norton's good, and I think that Hulk would have been cool, but it's like, I think this is like the perfect like Ruffalo like Hulk. Like, it's such a I think it's a good mix up from first Avengers to like now. Like, I think it makes sense. But
you like Ruffalo better, Jake, than Norton?
I think Norton makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, no,
I felt like, yeah, I thought he did a really good job at capturing who the character was in that origin story, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked him. He was really good. Bruce had just like a little too much swag, I guess is the word I would use, maybe. Like, there was something, he did not play like a scientist, like scared out of his
like
mind.
A Chad. And instead of a nerd.
Who are you talking about? Mark? I think he said Bruce.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Mark.
Gotcha.
So I liked Ed Norton. His was like a lot more raw. I felt like way more raw than Mark Ruffalo. But again, we didn't really get to see him, and I love what you said, dude. They should have just kept it at Ragnarok, like where he was like semi-smart. You know, he's been around the block.
Yeah,
they could have done.
He wasn't an idiot. Like, he could like conversate to some extent. Like, and it made sense. And
but he could still like rage.
Yeah, and he still had his strength, all that. But I'm just like, now it's like, I'm like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm not excited to see the Hulk. I'm like, you know how sick it would have been? That's one of my greatest regrets with Endgame. I'm like, what if the Hulk just went insane at the end, like at that end fight? That would have been awesome.
Yeah, he needed a moment for sure.
Like, I do think that they gave him the moment he needed, and when you think back on Endgame, like, it wouldn't have happened without like him snapping. But still, it's like, that's not the Hulk. Like it doesn't feel that's Bruce. Like it's not the Hulk. And so it's like weird to think about that. But that's why I wish they kind of figure something out or like split the two or do something. Like I just want to do something with it because I think that'd be cool. And like you're already gonna have She-Hulk coming in, which isn't like a crazy raged out Hulk, right? So it's like why not have the contrast? And it's not gonna really be there. I think like just having two smart Hulks there is gonna be weird. I feel like, you know. So
isn't she like a lawyer or something?
Yeah. She's a lawyer. He's a scientist. So I'm like, we're just gonna have two smart Hulks brainstorming or doing whatever. I'm just like, I don't want. Why? But
that's not the Hulk.
Yeah, it's not the Hulk. So, but and then it's just like I've seen like they've done World War Hulk stuff before, and I don't know if you guys have seen like Hulk versus Wolverine, like the those animated stuff. But I'm like, the Hulk was really cool in a lot of animated stuff. Like they did really cool stuff with him, and they even did a Young Avengers, I think, and they made him pretty cool, like an old Hulk, and like made sense and everything. But I'm like, they just dropped it, and I'm like, it's sad. But like the more you look into any of the remaining Avengers, like you realize they're kind of just out, like they're out. Hawkeye's probably gonna like pass on the torch. Thor's probably just gonna die, in my opinion, and then Hulk is busted up, and Tony's gone, Steve's gone, like so. It's weird to think about, but that's the thing is kind of going back to the whole original Marvel topic is fatigue, right? It's starting from the ground up, and I think Tuesday or Broster said this earlier. It's a brand new slate. Like that's how you gotta treat it going forward, because you'll need to gain my interest. And like, just if I wasn't like a crazy Marvel fan or whatever, I wouldn't go watch all these movies. If I saw a character, I'm just like, like I wouldn't go see the movie. That's why there's like DC movies I just haven't seen. Like I haven't seen Shazam. I haven't seen Aquaman. Like these are things I just haven't done yet. And
Shazam was actually decent.
And I've heard they're good. But I was just not interested. Like
Aquaman, Shazam was decent.
So,
but still kind of
I'm so excited for Flash, though. You have no clue.
We'll see, man.
No,
I'm more excited for Pattinson's Batman, dude. I would love to see Pattinson.
Pattinson's just like watching.
I'm not about all the Ezra Miller garbage though, and that's like it's really dumb. And also, I don't really think he's a very good Flash either.
Preach it.
I don't know. It feels weird because I watch the CW like Flash a lot, so I feel like that's my Flash at this
He's
point.
a better Flash,
like,
yeah.
Dude, hands down.
He makes sense. Like Grant Gustin is surprisingly like solid actor, I think. For the Flash, at least, like I think it makes sense. Like,
I would love to see him in a movie.
Yeah, I want to see him in a movie. I feel like they're probably gonna like have him jump in because they had Ezra jumping on the show.
Yeah.
In his Flash. So
that was mind blowing. I freaked out when that happened.
Yeah.
I did.
Who knows?
I was like, what the?
But yeah. I don't know. Marvel's cool. DC has some cool stuff too right now though. Like that I'm legitimately excited for. Like Flashpoint is probably one of my hands down favorite comic book like storylines, anything. Like up there with like Injustice. Like Flashpoint and like Injustice and all that are like just so up there for me because those are like the main, like those are the comic books that I feel like I know like solid. Like I know the story behind that. And
are we getting a reverse Flash, Ethan?
Are we getting reverse? That's the whole thing. Is they haven't even said we're getting reverse Flash.
Ooh,
I've heard I've heard theories that it might not be a reverse Flash, but like another version of like Barry. Like, who knows? But it's just did they call it? They didn't call it Flashpoint, huh? It's just the Flash. Or is it Flashpoint?
They haven't said. They haven't
Oh, the
said.
movie.
No, for
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah. Movie.
I
Oh
guess
yeah,
it's-
Flash season 7 just came out on Netflix. I gotta go watch that. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it. I heard it wasn't good, but I'm still gonna watch it. I stomached my way through the last season. It went so far down after the third. Like it jumped off a cliff, in my opinion. But yeah,
That season 1 finale, super good.
for Flash, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, dude. it's so
that
good.
that got me. That got me.
I love. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
You saw Flash?
Yeah,
Wait,
well,
you didn't see- you didn't
no,
see season 2.
no spoilers. I saw season 2 as well.
Okay.
I mean, total mama's boy over here. So everything that happens when he goes back to save his mom, like,
Oh yeah. I thought it just went after
but
that.
it was
though, they just
perfect.
kept
It was like a
recycling
perfect
stuff.
ending.
Dude, you have no idea how crazy I went for Zoom. Like Zoom was like one of the craziest villains. I'm sorry. He's
that, like,
so
season
he's
5?
beyond. No, Zoom is like season 2, I think.
Oh, is
Zoom
it?
is season 2. Savitar is season 3. I'm pretty sure. And then season 4 goes into like the Thinker or something like that. I think season 4 is the Thinker. I don't know.
All right, Ethan.
Yeah.
We do have to
Yeah,
move on to
we'll
some
go on.
Star
Yeah,
Wars
my
stuff.
bad. My bad.
Sorry.
Star Wars.
No
Dang it,
worries.
Ethan.
Let me dog on Star Wars for a bit.
No, but I mean, yeah. Sorry, we don't talk about DC enough. So
Yeah.
maybe
No.
next week we'll talk DC, more DC. That'll be
Dive
good.
into it.
Because yeah, we haven't like talked
Is that
DC
your
nearly
diving?
enough.
I thought
Sure,
that was Ethan's
sure,
his
sure,
dive
sure.
in.
I thought we were gonna
Okay.
do like maybe separate videos, but let's just I'll cut this and make it some separate ones later. So, you guys good to talk about Bad Batch finale?
Oh,
The
yeah.
disappointment that it was. Yeah, I'm ready. Let me stretch.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm more
Jake's
of a
just
fanboy
been
from
getting
Marvel,
warmed
so-
up.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it, guys. Bad Batch Part 2 finale. This was episode 16, I believe. Camino Lost was the title. I mean, we won't do like a long review on it, but definitely want to hear what you guys thought about it.
Out of 10.
Ethan.
Run it. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Out of 10, run it. Hit him, Ethan. Let him know.
I don't know. The fact that it's a series, it makes sense. And like, the thing is when I started watching it, I saw like 22 minutes and all that, or 28 or whatever it was. I'm like, just think back to Clone Wars. Just think back to Clone Wars. Because they would do season finales and it'd be nothing. Like they'd do a season finale and it'd literally just be them wrapping up like an arc or something, or like doing like a one-off. There's probably a season finale of them just doing a Jar Jar episode. Like that's probably the thing that happened.
No way.
I'm pretty sure like Gregor or something like that was probably season finale. There's a dumb season finale in Clone Wars. I will bet money on it.
Probably, but
That's
But
good.
it's not like they always ended badly. Like Clone Wars is sick.
No, I love Clone Wars, but I'm saying there was gonna be seasons when it just didn't end good, and then they'd come back in 3 months and it's like, all right, here's some more short stories, and then it's kind of just how it went. But I was kind of just thinking, like, that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, if they're gonna keep doing the show and they want to like do a story about it, like it's probably not gonna be anything crazy right now. The second I saw the ships leave Camino, I'm like, okay, well, this is gonna be like a slow episode going forward, because, yeah. And by the way, I think I called it. We won't. Never mind. I won't get into that. But I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. Like a 7. I liked the music. I liked the vibe. I thought it looked really good. Like, I thought the water effects and all that like looked really good on everyone. Like, especially like the end scenes and all that. I thought it made a lot of sense. Like everything that was going on. And yeah, it wasn't a bad episode. It's just, it's not,
No.
it doesn't wrap things up. like it doesn't really wrap much things up, you know. Like it's kind of like, all right, well, wait till 2022.
Yeah, I mean, me and Jake talked a little bit about it the other day on the phone. I feel like we're probably kind of on the same page. I mean, I don't think it was bad, but I do definitely feel like it was one kind of misleading when we heard these things about how the composers were like really emotional about like the ending. And then
AZ, dude, it was
and
all AZ.
well, I'm getting to that.
It was
But then
all-
two,
The robot. Oh
two,
my
it
God.
was a missed opportunity. I feel like. I mean, I was telling Jake, I'm like that. When they're all like panicking. When it seems like one of them or multiple characters are like could end up drowning to death. I'm like, this is it. Like, I mean, someone needs to go out right here. Like the music is like incredible in those moments. Everything is kind of like cranked up to where like you feel the intensity, you feel the stakes are building, and then everyone gets out. And everyone walks away. And I was telling Jake, I'm like, at the very least, can you just like make it seem like maybe Omega dies or something, but then bring her back like the beginning of next season if you really have to. But it's like,
pull an 11.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But Jake, go ahead.
Oh.
But
No.
what would you rate it? What would you rate it? Out of
Yeah.
10?
What would you rate it? Out of 10?
Oh, out of 10? It's tough. I'm like going back and forth between a 6 and a 7. I'd say
like kind of 2.
I'd say probably a 7. I mean, the whole season, it's just like it looks amazing, and the music like is just incredible all the time too, and that goes for both Clone Wars and Rebels as well. So I'm probably gonna say 7 right now,
For sure.
but it should have been a 9.
Should be 9.5.
Yeah. It's like it was unexpected. It's like picking up a drink and thinking that it's Coca-Cola or thinking that it's water. You take a drink out of it, it's Coke. All right, they're both not bad, but you're
It's a
expecting
Sprite.
something completely. Yeah,
Or you gotta drink a Sprite and it's a water.
Dude, you're
That's
using
the
metaphors like me when I did our WandaVision.
Oh, yeah, you go.
review.
Your mom makes you the best dinner, or
No.
says she'll make your favorite dinner, but then you get there and it's cereal and there's not even milk. It's just water, dude. It's water.
Dude.
It's
Thank
water.
you. Thanks for remembering, Ethan.
I
totally
was actually
forgot.
gonna say that earlier. I was gonna be like, dude, WandaVision was like a bag of Lay's chips. It's like 90% air. None of it was true.
It was like
I like that better.
Cheerios
Okay.
and hot water.
That was better, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was bad, but I was just like you
Yeah.
said, dude, they were trapped, and I was like, okay, like someone's gonna die. Like they said, it was super emotional. I thought at least half, 1 or 2 of the 99 group was gonna die. Someone like Wrecker, I thought was gonna probably go, and same with, Tech or something. Because everyone loves Tech. First of all, I love Tech, so, but yeah, nothing happened. None of
Who's
it
Tech?
letdown.
Just kidding.
Okay,
Jake.
thank God. I was like, bro, like,
Dude,
I
they
thought
don't
you
give
liked Star
they
Wars.
don't give Tech and Echo enough time. Like the main focus is on
They're just
Omega,
that cool.
Hunter, and Wrecker.
It's just that cool. They don't need it.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't even need it. He's always right. He's the boss. But no, I don't know. I just I thought at least someone was gonna die, and then it turns out by the end of the episode that no one dies, and they're like, "Hey, Crosshair, you want to come with us? We love you, bro." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna kill you." And I was like, "Dude, like." So basically, there was no.
Can you do a
conclusion.
Crosshair impression?
Me?
Yeah.
That was it. That was my 100%
That's
It's
the
not
best you're
it's
getting.
not high pitch enough. It's actually more high and raspy.
Oh man, I'm terrible at it. But anyways, so I
Yeah, can you
just
nail it right now?
on the spot. No, definitely
Yeah.
not. My apologies.
How dare you?
I don't need to offend anyone. So, yeah, I just thought that Crosshair. I almost expected him to die when he was with Omega, and like Omega to get like traumatized, him to like regret his decisions. Like I thought there was going to be an emotional moment at least at some point, but there really wasn't. So I went through the whole episode freaking out, and then by the end of it, I was like, okay, so nothing happened, is what you're telling me. So I don't know. It was okay. I'll give it a solid
Yeah.
5, I guess, if I'm gonna be generous. But compared to like
Generous.
dude, a 5 to be generous. There's a lot of, you guys are gonna hate me. There's like a lot of filler episodes, in my opinion. Like I didn't need a lot of, like I would have appreciated a lot more back and forth between Crosshair and them, or the Empire and them. Like in like a,
Yeah.
I was expecting something a little bit more intense rather than Omega sitting back and being really good at a strategy game, during a mission. And we spent 2 episodes on that one planet with
Dejarik is the name of the game, and it is the chess of Star Wars universe.
my bad. Okay. So it is me just being like a noob, So I was expecting a little bit more. I didn't think it had to be 15 episodes or whatever it was. And if it was, I wanted there to be a little bit more like in depth, even like you said, like we didn't really get to see Tech or like some of the other characters that much. And it was just, I wish there was more stories on them or something. So that's it.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was an okay series. I mean, I recommend it if you like Clone Wars and you like the animation and Clone Force 99, then yeah, go check it out.
Disappointment.
If you like a bag of Lay's chips, watch the show. A lot of hot air.
It's all about the ruffles. So are you going to be watching season 2, Jake?
Absolutely. I have to.
Absolutely not.
I thought about saying that, but I was like, I'll give it a chance. I mean, I want to see a little bit. I want to see what happens. I mean, I'll probably end up watching like 5 episodes, and if it doesn't get like stakes get high and something terrible happens, then I'll probably just be like, I'll probably watch it when they're done with the entire season. I'll just watch. I'll binge it. So
I can respect that. That's what I did with the Flash.
yeah, there you go. Season 7.
I just stopped for 4 seasons, so then I could binge it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is something I wanted to bring out. So I don't know like all the names and the details, but maybe we could do a little bit of speculation and kind of close out this little review here on this. So the very end where Nalase goes with the Empire. They go to that one planet. Don't remember the name of it. I don't know, maybe if you remember, Ethan, but anyways, that place, I guess, this is really interesting, but it goes back into like the Heir to the Empire comics, I guess, or not the comics, but like the books and stuff. But it goes back into old canon, and so I guess that place has to do with, of course, cloning, as you can imagine. But in that storyline, and Star Wars Theory has a really good video that he just put out on this. But from that place comes a clone of Luke Skywalker, but like other experiments, of course, that we can kind of imagine. The Empire's got like a lot of different plans going on there, but just like really interesting. Like I was listening to Star Wars Theory today, and like listening to what they were saying about this planet and old canon and stuff, and just like the potential and what they can do here and how it could lead into Mandalorian in season 3, maybe season 4 as well, or just kind of like what we might call the Filoni-verse, and ultimately seeing things build even more with Thrawn and with Luke, possibly a clone of Luke. I guess in those old legend stories, Luke went up against his clone, and so yeah, it was just really interesting. You guys will have to check out, that video. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? And maybe you had kind of like your own theories of what was going on with Nalse and the Empire. Ethan?
And honestly, I kind of forgot about that scene, but I do think it's a cool concept. Like they did kind of dabble with cloning and all that very poorly in Rise of Skywalker. So I think if they did a cool idea, like I think
they could be filling in the gaps. They could
Well,
be filling in the gaps here.
cloning is definitely a big part of Star Wars. Like you literally have the clone army. Like the cloning is a big deal, and it's been around for a while. But I think doing it in a way that doesn't seem like number one forced, but it, like makes sense would be cool and interesting. Like I think they did a good job at kind of hinting towards what their intentions were with Grogu, like that they wanted to like work on like cloning and all this stuff. Like that's.
I was gonna say that too. Is Grogu there right now? I'm pretty sure it's I'm pretty sure it's possible.
That's true. Who knows? But yeah, that's the thing. Is it's all over the place. But I think there's a lot of cool concepts that Star Wars has that they can work on. Like cloning could be cool. They could do some cool stuff with that. Like it's just how they implement it and if they rush it or not. That's the thing that all these big franchises are doing, and I think Star Wars really fell to it, is they rush stuff. Like, and I think that's kind of just the issue right now for even Star Wars. And I just don't want to do that. Like, I think they can do really cool ideas, but they need to introduce it earlier on and build upon it. And I think Mandalorian's done a really good job with that so far. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that'll probably wrap up this little review that we're doing here for Bad Batch. I think, we're all still looking forward to the next season and what they can do. I think we wanted more from this finale, but they have proven that they can do really great episodes. I think back to the Cad Bane episode was my favorite. And then I feel like, the one with Captain Hauser was really great, and Hera. But I think episode 2 and episode 1 were like high up there as well. Like it was just a great way to kickstart that new series. But sometimes it kind of like fell off from there. So that was too bad. But I'm still looking forward to what they can do next season for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I mean, we did mention The Mandalorian. I did want to bring that up real quick. But it starts shooting next month, season 3. That's official. And it's about time. That it has gotten delayed, of course. And originally it was supposed to come out. Season 3 was supposed to come out this December. It sounded like it was going to be like right after Book of Boba Fett, which I would have loved because I don't think it's possible for me to get fatigued from Star Wars. But unfortunately, this will probably put it sounds like middle, if not end of next year. But do you guys have any quick thoughts on this? Jake?
Well, I have a question. Where does that leave Book of Boba Fett?
Book of Boba Fett is still coming out in December around Christmas time, and that's going to be 6 to 8 episodes.
Okay. All right. That's what I care about.
You're not looking forward to season 3, Mandalorian?
I honestly don't know what the heck they're going to do for season 3. I'm curious to see what they do. I mean, Grogu's gone. I don't know
I
mean,
feel
he's
like they have to. Well, how much have you gone into Clone Wars, the show? I don't
well, I've
remember.
watched all of it.
Oh,
So
okay. So, what about Rebels?
I think I got through everything but like the last season or so.
Oh, there's some great stuff in the last season, man.
Is Thrawn only in the last season?
I thought he was in.
Yeah,
Oh,
Is
he
he?
wasn't in the season before that.
not so sure.
He might have been. I
Okay.
don't know. I remember seeing Thrawn, but I
Okay.
didn't see him get taken
So
by
I
the
feel
Crooks.
like. Well, I thought
Oh,
they were
you know
gonna do
what?
this
I might have
last
actually
season.
finished Rebels. I think I actually.
I think you
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Well, I
Thrawn's
thought they were
kind
gonna
of
do
good
this
bad.
last season, but I think soon. I mean, definitely at some point they've got to go back to Mandalore. And I mean, people go back and
So
forth with the theories here. I would like to see Bo-Katan take back Mandalore and Din Djarin help her do that. But I've heard a lot of theories that Din Djarin is going to be the one to rule Mandalore at the end of the day. And I guess I would be okay with that too. It's just, I mean, Bo-Katan has become one of my absolute favorite characters. She's so awesome.
So you wouldn't like to see like a semi-romance happening in season 3 between them, and then finish it off with like the king and queen of
I'd be down.
Mandalore?
I'd be down for that too, but I don't think that would really happen.
I'd love to see the Mandalorian keep that
Plus,
sword, dude. The dark saber. That'd be cool if he
yeah,
kept it and just like trashed on everyone. But
but I have a feeling that maybe we'll see him go back and possibly spark up that romance that you kind of saw a glimpse of with that village lady. Do you remember her from
Yeah.
yeah, I
episode?
thought you were
I
talking
think it was
about the.
episode 3.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the girl with the eggs that Grogu was eating for a second. I thought maybe she's married already. I don't know what you're talking about.
The
but
frog.
yeah, that's his wife.
No.
Season 3. I'm calling it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, that'd be cool. So you just want him to go help, and then kind of just bounce and like retire, basically. But then there would be no season 4.
No, I don't want him. I don't want him to retire. I mean, I feel like this series is definitely one of the themes is kind of him, I guess, discovering his background, like his heritage, like what he is, but then also who he wants to be, who he wants to become. And yeah, I think he's kind of like he's on the fence about stuff for sure, like going back and forth between, these people showed me that, I lead my life this way, but also, this other set of Mandalorians, they can kind of bend the rules here a little bit. So, yeah, because it's kind of like the different types of Mandalorians, they broke off because, like the Death Watch wanted to go back to being like, they wanted to go back to their roots and being like warriors again. And then Duchess, which was, if we remember, it was Bo-Katan's sister, the original ruler. She wanted to lead the people more into being like very neutral and she was a pacifist. So some of those themes still definitely play a part in the show, and I think are really interesting. So I'm curious to see what happens. But Ethan, what do you think about all this season 3 and any theories?
In all honesty, I haven't thought about season 3 since we ended season 2. Like,
What is
okay,
the
look,
problem right now?
when we finished season 2 and we had our review on it, that was the last time I thought about season 3. And the reason why is because I do think they're going to do something like regarding Mandalore. Like, I think Dave Filoni knows if you're going to bring the Darksaber in and talk about its roots, you got to go back to Mandalore. Like, that's the way it is. As to how much they're going to dig into that, who knows? They're kind of bending the rules with this sometimes. So we'll see what happens. But no, that's just how I am with shows. Like, you know how long I've been waiting for Stranger Things, but no, it's not here. It's not here. So I try not to think about this stuff because then I'm gonna get all sad that it's not here yet. And look, Mando got delayed.
Papa.
And so good thing I wasn't betting on it because Mando got delayed. So I'm not getting that yet. At least I got Boba, I guess. But
Yeah,
that's another one I didn't think about. You had to like remind me like a week ago that Boba's coming out because I just block it out, and then when I see it pop up on Disney Plus one day, I'm like, oh, Poggers, and then watch it.
I mean, sorry, not sorry. I've said this before, but like, I can't talk highly enough about Mandalorian. Like, to me, that sets the standard for these Disney Plus shows, and like even Wave, who's not even like not nearly as a fan of Star Wars with this stuff as we are. I mean, she's like, yeah, like nothing really matches that level with, she's watched all these Marvel shows with me too. And yeah, I mean, they just, I don't know. I feel like they struck gold with that, and they got back to what Star Wars was supposed to be. I don't know why Ethan's disagreeing so hard with that, but whatever.
Why are you disagreeing so hard?
I just think that's the standard. I would like Marvel to, step up a little bit.
Slackers.
Jake, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, it's fine if you guys disagree with me.
No, Mando's better. We had this. When did we have this conversation? No, Mando's better than each of the Marvel shows. Individually, it's better. I personally think as a whole, yeah, it's better. It has a very unique story. It's very different from, like, it feels like Star Wars, but it's also separate from Star Wars. It's just a good story with stuff that's familiar.
Yeah.
I'm just really glad they did good with Mando because I don't know what I would have done with Star Wars. Like, in all honesty,
you would have given up.
I would have given. I was giving up, dude. They had nothing. Yeah. They had nothing. You know how distraught I was after Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, didn't Clone Wars come out? Didn't Clone Wars season 7 come out after that though, or was it before? I don't remember.
It might have came out after.
Clone Wars came out 2 years ago.
2019, right?
No, when Bad Batch ended, it was 2 years back, so 2019. Because it started on May 4th too, and it did the same thing. So it's been 2 years.
I'm just wondering, did season 7 come out after Rise?
Came out before, right?
I don't remember.
I forgot about Rise of Skywalker. I can't remember when I went to go see it because I probably saw it once and then never went again.
I never went to the theaters.
It was Christmas. It was Christmas time.
Well, no, I'm trying to. 2019. No, so it came out before. Yeah, it was 2019 that it came out before. Yeah, because it ended right about now. It was over. Clone Wars was over. But I love Clone Wars. That Clone Wars is like peak Star Wars for me, like in a way. Like, it's really good. I love animated. That it was just really good because these are the thing. This is the thing. When they do new stories with a Star Wars spin or in the realm of it, it works. We didn't need all these characters dead on for Clone Wars. Like, the ending of Clone Wars, we weren't even crazy about it because it's like Anakin, Obi-Wan, all these people. It was Ahsoka. Like, we this character that they built up this entire show, and then they threw in like Maul. So it's like the same thing. They're going to these shows and they're having it build up and all that, and then whoop, they threw in Boba. You know, like, oh, they threw in Luke. Like, that's kind of what they're doing. And Dave Filoni is really good at that. And Jon Favreau did great with Mando. So I love Mando. It's better. I'll admit it right now. It's better than every Marvel show, hands down. It's just a fact.
Not better than WandaVision, bro.
Yeah, it can't
Oh.
be WandaVision finale.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
But
Two visions fighting, bro.
calculating,
Dude, that was the worst thing. Even Bennett, Paul totally messed everything up for him.
he baited you guys hardcore.
Hate that guy now. Never
But-
watched another Marvel movie in just a minute.
Thought he was so nice and cool.
I was so glad that he was dead
Just a
by the end of
poser.
it, and then he came back, and I was like, "Oh, now there's a white vision." Like, now I gotta deal with him more. Oh,
I
man.
just Star Wars, and we can think about this whatever way we want. What if Mandalorian never came out? What if Mandalorian never happened? That's the terrible thing. I would have lost interest in Star Wars for a long time if Mandalorian didn't come out. So I'm very thankful Mando came out because it carried Star Wars for a hot minute. Because
I mean,
they didn't really
it
have
brought the
anything-
fans back together.
Well, yeah, it was
I think
something
for the
that
most
everyone
part.
enjoyed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It carried the fan base. It carried the community. It carried Star Wars. That's what I'm saying. It carried Star Wars. Like, that's just how it
Wait,
was.
can you say it again, Ethan?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Carried Star Wars.
It
Mando
Thank you,
broke
sir.
its back. Okay, like that's just the way it is. But I love it all. I think Star Wars in general has a lot of I think they have good products going forward. Like I think they have a good plan now. But the thing is, and I was thinking about this too. It's like look at Marvel, right? When they finished Endgame, they weren't like bam, 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 bam. Here's these movies. Like that's not what they're doing. Star Wars, that was their kind of in-game deal. Like that was their little build up there. But they didn't have anything after. So they did something not so great and then they did a break and it was just dead. Like that's the issue is with Endgame everyone was extremely satisfied. You know, everyone loved it. They got all their service. Rise of Skywalker had some really good moments, but then everyone starts looking at the trilogy. Like if you look at that trilogy, the sequels, it's like people are gonna be disappointed with that. And then you have a year or two where you just don't really have much coming out. And it's like Clone Wars ended, you know, what do you got now? So I think Star Wars was just put in a really bad position timing wise. I think it was just really bad timing. I think they finished that series at a point and they got comfortable with the idea of, oh, we're going to be good for now. But they should have just kept going after that, in my opinion. But I'm glad Mando
you mean
came out.
with Mandalorian? You're saying, or
No, just with movies, with any project. When did Mando come out in comparison to Rise of Skywalker? It was a year, right?
no, it wasn't.
No? When did
Mandalorian was going while Rise of Skywalker was coming out because there was this weird thing that happened. It was actually kind of cool.
Oh, yeah,
If you guys remember that week,
November 12th, 2019.
that week they made it. I think that we got 2 episodes and we got the second episode right before, we got it on Wednesday or Thursday before the Rise of Skywalker premiere.
Yeah, I
So-
didn't care about the Skywalker premiere. I was never gonna go see it. So
Gosh,
You rat.
no,
dude, it was so trash.
You need to ride or die, man.
I thought it came
Marvel,
out
man.
after,
Marvel.
but yeah, that makes sense. That's the
Anyways.
thing, it's it's just I think it lost some interest in Star Wars and kind of put him in all-time low, and then right after, and then Rona hit hardcore, and it's just a really bad storm that they
Yeah, it
have
did.
going on.
Yeah, it
and
did.
then It's just I don't think they're prepared they didn't have enough stuff set up to deal with all this. That's the thing is at least Marvel has a lot that they can do right now, but
I would say
whether it's better or
multiverse
not,
opportunity.
the fact is that they're getting more quantity out right now, and that's what's going to get numbers steadily growing. I think quantity until you get to Spider-Man, the big guys. I think that's what does it. But Yeah, I love Star Wars. I hope I really hope some of these shows are good. Like I'm excited for Acolyte, even though I don't talk about it. Like I'm excited for it. Like it's just random stuff.
Also, you guys can go check out my review of the Star Wars Visions trailer I put out yesterday. It's the video's doing good. You guys, people seem to like it, to dig it. So that's really cool.
You turned me on to it, man. I was not feeling it, and I was like, all right, Tom's all jazzed. He's hyped up.
I am super hyped for that. We do gotta move on, but I wanted to, before we head out, do a little review of What If, but I don't know if Ethan's cool with that or if you want to sign
Should I
off.
dip?
Up to you.
I can dip. I might just go watch it. I gotta order food anyways. Something.
Okay.
I just ordered food. So
me and Jake can wrap it up.
I should have done that. What did you get though? What did you get?
I got Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich, spicy nuggets, large fry. I'm chilling.
I gotta figure something else out. All right.
All right, figure something else.
Anyways, bye guys.
Okay. We'll wrap up.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Ethan. We'll see you soon. Okay. So let's do a little review, 10-15 minute here.
I'm gonna not even say that much about it. I mean,
okay, maybe shorter than that. We'll see. But yeah, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about What If episode 2, and this is centered around T'Challa becoming Star-Lord. It's what if what's his name, Yondu, if Yondu didn't pick up Peter Quill, but he picked up T'Challa from Wakanda, and how would that all play out? A little bit bittersweet, like I had mentioned. I thought it would be. This was Chadwick Boseman's last performance, and I mean his voice is just iconic too, and it's great. He did a great job. I think I thought it was really nice how they dedicated it to him at the end. And I like this episode, quite a bit more than the first episode, just because I felt like it was just a lot more original and fun. They definitely had a lot of fun with it and took it off into all different directions. I like the relationship between Yondu and T'Challa and kind of how that progresses. I think it was, kind of noteworthy where Yondu's, he has like that tough love, but at the end of the day, you see like how much he really cares for T'Challa and how he does view him like as his own son. I thought that was really great. And then I thought Nebula, her character really stood out, and we kind of got to see a little bit different side of her, being a little bit more good, but of course still kind of acting like she's being really deceitful. But and I got the impression that her and T'Challa might have some kind of romance. I don't know if you caught that at all, but I kind of got that vibe a little bit. And then it was different for sure, seeing how Thanos was kind of a good guy now, kind of, and then of course the Collector, it seemed like they basically made him the big bad in place of Thanos. But yeah, those were kind of like the big takeaways for me. What do you think about it, Jake?
I loved it. I only watched it once. I was really lit last night, and while watching it, I was thinking about how I had to get up for work the next morning. But I paid attention as much as I could, and I loved it. I thought there was a lot of humor in it. I thought it was really interesting seeing like how Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, how his character could have been if I don't know, he was more responsible. No, I feel like T'Challa was a little bit more responsible, got things done.
Yondu, and more respected too by like the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was like not doing a Lone Ranger thing. It was really cool to see that. It was, it was tough. I mean, it was hard watching it, thinking that I'm hearing this guy's voice, but he's no longer with us anymore. So that was tough to get through, but I really really enjoyed it, and I loved just the humor with Thanos. And dude, I cracked up every single time he brought up his like plan, and we were
Yeah,
like,
that was
isn't
pretty
that
funny.
isn't that kind of like genocide, man? And he's like, well, no. He's like, but it's random. And I was just like, this guy,
Yeah.
his sales pitch, he's trying to sell everybody in the universe on this. But it was cool seeing him be cool, like cool with everyone else, and be a little bit more moderate than extreme. But yeah, I enjoyed it, man. It was cool. I made a joke like last week when I watched the first episode. At the end, like the poster in the background, it had someone that was blue with blonde hair, and I was like, "Hey guys, watch out! It's a Nexus event. They're gonna make Nebula have blonde hair. They're gonna make her blonde." And it turned out that was Nebula, and I was like, "Oh my
Oh
gosh,
wow.
I called it!" Like that's so funny, but it was cool. I liked Nebula, all the characters. It was, I would say, 10 times better than the first episode, just because, like what you said, it was like a lot more fresh than it was like the
Yeah.
stale ripoff. That was my issue with the first one. I was like, come on, guys, like you can come up with something better than basically, just character swapping roles.
Yeah, because like the beginning of the Peggy Carter episode, like yeah, totally makes a lot of sense. I understand kind of what they're doing, but um, it just felt like I was watching Captain America: The First Avenger in 28 minutes with Peggy Carter as the lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it went through a lot of the same scenes and situations, but again with this, uh, like you said, completely fresh and just like went off into all different directions. Um, and like you had nothing to like go back on and be like, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen next, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It was just brand new and is really cool.
Yeah, it was even like kind of like what you said too about Yondu, man. Like it was very like they changed like his story up a lot, where instead of him bringing Peter Quill to this guy who's his dad that's killing all of his kids, he actually gets to bring T'Challa back to his dad, and his dad loved him, and his dad missed him, and he got to meet him, and it was like a great like kind of like reunion of where like
Yeah.
his families could like meet and mingle together, and like that just killed me too. I was like, oh man, like if only this is how it actually went, and like the sacred timeline. But
You
was
know what
cool.
was such a great line too, and of course it goes back to like the theme running through this. I think is the fact that T'Challa really wants to just explore the world, and so then towards the end on like the it's like right before they go to see to go back to Wakanda, Yondu tells him, oh, because T'Challa says something about how um, sometimes he doesn't know where he belongs, right? And Yondu's like, I've met like a lot of people in my lifetime, and something to the effect of, um, I know that like no matter where it is you go, you'll belong. I thought that was really great. Thought that was
Yeah,
really cool. And I
that was
feel like
awesome.
that it was kind of like the sentiment as well, like, and part of like the dedication to um Chadwick in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Never forget Chadwick, man. He was a king. So I thought it was great. Honestly, if you had to tell me like what was a better send off, this 30-minute episode of What If compared to Black Widow's 2.5 hour movie, I would say this one. Like hands down. I mean, I don't know. It was a lot more entertaining for me, and I wish. I mean, I think we're getting him for maybe 2 more episodes. He might come back
I had
because we.
heard that. Was it you telling me, or
Mm-hmm,
it might have been
yeah,
other people as well? But I had heard that he was in a couple episodes, so I hope
yeah,
so.
yeah. There's a couple scenes from the trailers we haven't seen yet, so I definitely know that he comes back. And plus, what you have to
Okay.
remember is like he just came back to Earth, and so I think this is all probably going to be in like the same kind of timeline. I mean, we got Captain Carter, that just showed up, right? And so now he's back, and now I'm assuming it's going to be Loki showing up at some point soon. Um, but I don't know, and I'm curious to see what they do with Loki in this What If series. I'm curious to see how they make him. because Thanos was a huge change. Same with Nebula. So I'm wondering,
Yeah.
like, you just don't know what they're gonna do with certain characters from here on out, and like the spin they could put on it, because that Thanos thing that happened was very like Taika Waititi like thing they did. I felt like, and it landed so well with me. They added some humor.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I don't know. I just loved it. So
Yeah, and we can't forget, like, also part of the ending as well. Ego shows up at Dairy Queen and finds Peter, and I thought that was interesting and kind of a funny moment too. That it was just that it was Dairy Queen. He's like mopping
was
or,
that supposed
or
to be
whatever.
Peter Quill?
Yeah.
Or was that Scott Lang, like a joke on Baskin Robbins, and now he works at Dairy Queen instead of Baskin Robbins?
I'll I'll have to watch it again, but I'm pretty sure that was Peter.
Okay, I can't tell. The animations, honestly, with like making the characters look
I
exactly
I thought
like,
he said his
not
name
good.
too.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll have to
Yeah.
rewatch it then. But
Um.
yeah, I thought that was weird. I was curious. I was like, okay, what's gonna happen now? So like, we don't know. Maybe Ego's gonna be like one of the main big bad guys in this series. That's like trying to take over everything.
I mean, I was under the impression that these were all gonna be their own episodes, but do you feel like at some point they're going to like bleed into one another? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
do
mean,
you
they
think
would
they're
have
they're
to.
leading up to like a finale where like a lot of things connect?
I mean, yeah, they have to. I mean, think about it. If I just got a bunch of different, like, small clips of just like a certain time period in each individual hero's life, and it was just all in different universes, I'd be disappointed personally. I mean, the idea sounds cool, but like, I need some continuity. I need an overall like arc and picture.
Yeah.
Or else it's gonna feel like what Clone Wars, where it's like every episode is dealing with like a specific person doing a specific. So I would love for it to be all put together, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they will, because what they show in the trailers is, it seems like we're gonna get a lot of these people crossing over. So we'll have to wait and see. Like, maybe Carter came from a different universe too, and that's how she came to this universe in the first episode where T'Challa came back. So they might
Would you
just be
like to
playing
know
something like
what the
that.
next episode is?
I think I know. I forget though. I know I've heard, but what is it?
Yeah, I'll just say it. I don't think it's that big of a spoiler.
No.
The next episode has to do with the Avengers Initiative,
Okay.
and apparently there's some like big bad taking out the Avengers kind of one by one, and we're kind of trying to discover who that is. That's all I
Hmm.
know right now, but um I've heard from some of the critics on YouTube who have seen all three. They got all three from Disney at the very beginning. That episode 3 is the best.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's just been getting like gradually better and better, so I'm here for it, man. I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah. And who knows? They might make things canon. They might not. There might be
Yeah.
something that happens, but I mean, I'm just along for the ride at this point. It's honestly good. I feel like personally, like, if we just took a step out of the universe for a second and just did like our own kind of like little thing, that'd be cool too. Like, I don't need everything they do, especially if it's
Right.
like animation, to be like, you know, locked into what's happening now. So
Right. Yeah, I mean they can have fun with it, right? And it's kind of like what Star Wars is going to be doing with um Visions, they just have like a lot of range to kind of expand and let their imagination run wild a little bit. So,
yeah,
yeah.
that'd be cool.
Well, today is Tuesday's back, but we're about to sign out in just a minute. I don't know if Tuesday had any thoughts he wanted to share on um, this What If episode 2. You can let us know.
Yeah, you got like a minute and a half, 2 minutes Tuesday, because I gotta go here.
Yes, we both got to go eat. But yeah, It was pretty good. It was pretty
Yeah.
good.
It was good. I enjoyed it. So we'll see, man. If it keeps getting better, that's all I can ask for, you know?
Yep. Tuesday said, and now Dick's dogs are going crazy. Tuesday said, absolutely fantastic, better than the first. Yep, we would agree. We would agree. But all right, I think it's time to get out of here, man.
Yeah, I gotta go, man.
It's been a lot of fun. Thanks so much for being on the show, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Leave a like, and if you're watching on the replay, comment, tell us your thoughts and theories. We want to hear about it. We will catch you guys next time. See you, bro.
See you guys.